What is going on, GPC fans out there? Welcome back to another video of mine. I'm Ace Chandler Josh, and I'll be bringing you my Week 7 of Season 7 for the GPC versus Mio. Um, I forget his team name honestly, but the Oklahoma City Thunderers, I believe. Yeah, that sounds about right. And yeah, we're playing his team this week. Off, he just got off a forfeit win, and we really have not played in a while. It's actually been like probably 3 weeks since I've had a GPC game, legitimately. So this was a refreshing, a refreshing thing. If you can hear the TV in my back, I'm sorry. If there's just football on, because it's college football. Tomorrow's the NFL. Yeah, good times. Anyways, me and his team is just coincidentally right next to mine, as you can see. This is a non-divisional game, but every game counts, especially since most of these people are really competitive and pretty good. So you got to make sure you win as much as possible. Typically all of them, but that's kind of difficult to do. And yeah, as you can see, his team is towards the right of mine. Right. Well, you might not be able to see my mouse, and you probably can't, but I am the third one toward, yeah, whatever. I'm not gonna, you guys could probably see it. And yeah, his is to the right of me. He has Mega Gallade, Heatran, Rotom Wash, Decidueye, Zygarde 10%, Fortress, Rubombi, Drapion, Shuckle, Tornadus, Porygon 2, and last but certainly not least, Cloyster. Funny enough, in the week before, the game before he played me, he played fucking what's his name? Give me a second. I know this. Wait, just give me a second. It was Turbo. Yeah, he played Turbo, and he actually led Cloyster turn 1, and he swept, and like just 6-0'd. So, yeah, Cloyster is definitely something to not be looked at, and you'll see that during my prep, that I definitely did not underestimate Cloyster by any means. So, yeah, the team is pretty scary. Mega Gallade is just a huge threat to my team. Doesn't necessarily 6-0 me, but it does, like, have the capability of 2 KOing essentially every single mon on my team. And another threat to Tornadus, like Thunderous was similar to Thunderous when I played Turbo, even though he did not bring it versus me. Tornadus has the tools to really hit my team pretty hard with the combination of his Z move, which he does have, his only mon with a Z Crystal actually. Do it with like Z Focus Blast, Z Hurricane, and or even Z Sludge Wave, but I highly doubt he'll bring Z Sludge Wave. It'll either be Z Focus Blast or Z Hurricane. Rubombi is rather okay. Fortress is his only real answer to Scolipede, so I 100% expect it to come. Porygon 2 is okay as well, but it's not the best, honestly. So I was like, this will probably be the best. As anyways, that's the team, and yeah, we'll just hop onto the team builder. As you're gonna see a little bit of heat because yeah, no, you will see the heat later on. Anyways, my first mon is Fishmolly the Gastrodon. I don't even know why I'm here. Anyways, yeah, Gastrodon is here to trap the Fortress and just allow for Scolipede to sweep like late game essentially, because the only mon which like avoids Scolipede from winning is Fortress, because like if he's Fizz Def, Hurricane at +2, I mean not Hurricane, Earthquake at +2 does like literally 0. So if I'm able to trap it with Infestation plus Earth Power, it'll allow for it to do a decent amount of damage. Not to mention that I can have the momentum in the back to potentially give Scolipede some free setup. But looking at his team, Pokemon like Heatran, Mega Gallade, Rotom Wash, Rotom can Willow, Heatran can still Fire Move me and probably still kill me. Mega Gallade could still hit me hard if it's a Psychic move. Zygarde 10%, I guess that's like, I can Memento on that. I can Memento on Rubombi realistically, unless he's like Psychic. Drapion I can realistically set up on with a Memento, and at P2, Cloyster, and Tornadus I could definitely do so. So Memento is a really viable option to potentially have in the back, and I didn't really need any other move. I considered Skull, but like Gastrodon really isn't here to deal with Pokemon. It's just kind of here to trap the Fortress. And I almost brought Block Donphan as well, the double trap, but like I figured it was too much of an investment. Anyways, but yeah, Scolipede, Z move. We're bringing a double Z, as you'll see with my Kyurem Black. It also has the Z move. Just in case I don't use it, I do have the other one to potentially take advantage of, and that would be pretty cool. But yeah, it's enough speed to outspeed Tornadus which is essentially like max speed. We do have enough. We have 8 HP, max attack, so we can do as much damage as possible. Poison Jab will kill Tornadus Eye after 2 rounds of rocks. And then, or if I get an SD up, I'll just OHKO it straight up. Earthquake obviously for said Heatran, and it's also pretty good for like there's something else, right? It's okay for Drape Down because I don't have to risk Mega Horn. But and then yeah, Mega Horn just hits everything else reasonably hard. Shuckle is like 100% setup fodder unless he's like Shell Smash. I would have to set up alongside and hope for a crit or something, but for the most part, Shuckle can't do too much to me, so I can actually probably set up on it as well, which is pretty cool. But yeah, this Pokemon is just like, it just exposes his team once Fortress dies. So anyways, next is Togekiss. This is one of my Gallade answers, considering Gallade's just a huge threat. If I could T-Wave it, it's heavily neutered, and the rest of my team could probably just beat it rather easily. Oh, not to mention that Scolipede does outspeed the Mega Gallade even without the speed boost, and with a Mega Horn, it will do a lot of damage, and if I weaken it just a bit, it'll definitely handle it by itself. But yeah, Togekiss with Roost, Defog, so I can like get rid of spikes or hat, because you can spike with Cloyster, webs with Shuckle, rocks with Fortress, spikes with Fortress. So I was like, I like Defog considering he does have a Decidueye, so I can definitely get spin block. So I definitely prefer to have the Defog. Not to mention that his spin blocker does not appreciate Togekiss due to Air Slash, and the Air Slash is a pretty spammable move versus his team. I think he only really has one air resist, which is Heatran, and I guess Rhythm Wash. I can't really touch those two, but Rhythm Wash is not the best matchup against me. And Heatran, I have ways of dealing with it, as you'll see. But yeah, just enough speed to outspeed his Cloyster, so I can Air Slash it down, or just T-Wave it, because if I T-Wave it and he does go for Shell Smash, I'll still outspeed him, obviously. And my chances of stopping him while he's paralyzed and with an Air Slash is pretty in my favor. So I prefer to have that more than anything else. And yeah, that's Togekiss. I wish I could have ran more defense investment, but I really felt like the speed was important. Anyways, next is Fireman Ed. And it's just enough HP to take advantage of leftovers. Enough attack to, I believe, like KO a offensive Cloyster with Shell Smash after rocks with Head Smash. And then I put the rest into defense and some into special defense. I have enough special defense to take a +1 Moonblast from a Ribombee, no matter what, unless he crits me. Even if he's modest and he goes for a Quiver Dance, after rocks I will live a Moonblast, and like I can just demolish it with Head Smash, bar a hit. I could have ran Stun Edge, but Head Smash and Stun Edge are the same exact accuracy with 80%. And Head Smash does a lot more to Cloyster, allowing for it to not set up on me for free, because Earthquake will just bounce off of it, and it can set up on me, and I can try to win if my Venusaur is weakened. So I really like the option of Head Smash. Stealth Rock because rocks are cool, and to knock off an Earthquake, which is pretty cool in general. And with this defensive investment, I take hits pretty well from his Mega Gallade, and Earthquake will just really hit it hard. Obviously, with the 112 and the Adamant Nature, I hit pretty decently hard, yeah, it's pretty much Donphan. It's not much more to say. It's just all over the place in terms of the EVs, but they do all matter, and they do all have some sort of purpose. Like I said, the defense for Ribombee, defense for Gallade, attack for Cloyster, and just HP. Next is my Mega Venusaur mixed defense, because that's pretty much the best EV spread you can ever bring on a Venusaur. It's enough defense to take Icicle Spears from a +2 Cloyster pretty easily. And I can just revenge it with Giga Drain. Earthquake is pretty good for the Heatran. Sludge Bomb is good for the Ribombee. And like Sludge Bomb's a pretty spammable move versus him. I can potentially fish for a poison on the Mega Gallade, potentially on the Rhythm Wash, even though I can Giga Drain it. It's definitely on Porygon too, just stuff of that nature. Unfortunately, I do not have HP Fire, but I'm kind of banking on trapping trapping Fortress with Gastrodon, so I'm hoping that pulls through. And then obviously, I showed it earlier, the Nichiren Black, and yes, it is intentionally supposed to have a serious nature. I don't want to lower anything because I want to have a pretty decent Spadef stat to take a hit from a Tornadus Eye. I don't want to lower my defense so I can take a hit from the dog if I need to, not to mention Cloyster, because like Rock Blast won't kill me unless he's boosted. With this amount of special attack and this amount of attack, I didn't really need to boost anything, so I just left everything as is, and I only needed this much speed, which is just to outspeed Cloyster. This is Timid Cloyster, or Jolly Cloyster, whatever he would want to run, but it'd definitely be Jolly most likely. But anyways, I wanted a lot of attack, so I could potentially KO the Porygon 2 after rocks plus Ice Beam with a Z Free Shock, which would be pretty interesting. Earth Power is obviously just to murder the Rhythm Wash. Actually, no, it's not 410 weak. That's Rhythm Heat, but it can still hit it really hard. Is what I'm trying to say. And then Fusion Bolt is pretty good for I know this. I know what I'm talking about. It's good for tornadoes. Oh boy, wait. What the fuck? Why do I have Fusion Bolt on here for? Oh, Cloyster. It's for Cloyster. Yes, I'm not a retard. But yeah. And yeah, pretty self-explanatory team. But if I had to give it a review, it's just do stuff with Gastrodon, Scolipede can sweep, defensive answers with Donphan plus Turkus, and then utility, and then potentially something to wall break. But yeah, that's the team, and we're gonna move on to the replay. And I'll pause and I'll be right back. And bada beam, bada boom, we are back. I apologize if I'm still bad at this. I'm like, I have not recorded in a long time. If you watched my last video, which I'm sure like maybe 2 of you did, for my match for Carter, I'm all over the place. I really don't know what to say nor what to do with these replays. And as you can see, this replay is different from the one for Carter. Like I said, my computer like completely took a dump on itself, so I had to download the replay and it worked afterwards. But right now my computer's working just fine for now. Hopefully it doesn't like lag out mid recording. That'd be horrible. But yeah, as you can see with his team, he did not bring the fucking Fortress. I don't know why. He brought the Shuckle instead, I guess. I didn't expect Shuckle at all. Rabombi was expected. Meg Delay was 100% expected. It's the first Pokemon on his slot, so that makes me believe he literally just slapped it on the moment he saw my team, which I don't blame him. Tornadus was 100% expected. Heatran, I expected, and Cloyster, I don't want to get swept by it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna make sure this doesn't. I want to make sure I don't get swept. So yeah, I'm just gonna lead straight with Donphan because I want to get my rocks up, because he does have a Rabombi, he does have a Shuckle, and he does have a Tornadus. Not to mention that it does take the 12% off on the Heatran. Actually, he has 4 Pokemon with the fucking rocks. So I was like, rocks are important. So I'm going to lead with the Donphan. As he leads straight with the Shuckle leader, the Cloyster, and I'm like, oh, okay. So this makes me believe he is a Spikes lead, which is interesting considering he has not brought that at all this season. But as you'll see, turn 1, he definitely is a Spikes lead. Cloyster, I have to click Head Smash, and I do literally 0. And I find out this is essentially a max HP, max defense, Impish Cloyster. Not every day do you see this, but it's not the first time I've seen it. But yeah. So I know from his investment that my Turkus will be able to eat almost any hit from this thing, even any ice move, because I was calculating Icicle Spear, and yeah, I take it pretty well. So I was like, I'm just gonna go into Turkus, and I kind of want to defog away these rocks. I mean, these spikes. As he goes for Icicle Crash, doesn't even do a KO me, because like he's not invested at all, and Cloyster has like really bad attack without a boost. As I go for a Roost because I wanted to be safe. I could have defogged, but oh well. As I go for Thunder Wave on the Shuckle, and I'm like, okay, time to just get rid of these spikes. And I find out he's contrary, and now he's +1 in evasion, which is like, oh shit. So I'm like, okay, just don't do anything too crazy, and we're gonna be fine. Oh, that damage proves to me, by the way, that he's Fizdef, not Spidef. As actually, it's very hard to calc the spread on a Shuckle. You'd be pretty surprised, actually. As at this point, I'm just praying not to miss too many air slashes, and I'm just hoping I get the flinch plus pairs. But I see he has Shell Smash, I see he has Infestation, and I'm like, okay, so this is gonna be the toxic Infestation Shell Smash rest set that I see all over. I used to see it when I was in the low ladder. Well, not that I'm still always in the low ladder because I'm bad at Pokemon. But yeah, this is like the. No, I'm not making fun of. I'm not trying to put down Mayo, but this set is BS. I'm sorry. I fucking hate this set, man. And I default thinking I got rid of Infestation because I'm a dumbass, and I just gave this more evasion. So I'm literally digging my own grave at this point. I'm like, well, I guess it's gonna have to come down to a PP Star War with my Turkus plus Venusaur, because like that's the only way this is actually gonna work out for me. So anyways, I'm just gonna skip this because this is literally like, oh, this is horrible. As yeah, this just gets worse, and then he toxics me, and then I get rid of my Infestation. So I'm like, okay, I gotta get out of here. I go to my Venusaur, and I'm going to now just click Giga Drain as he swaps, and seeing him switch was possibly the biggest relief I felt in a long time about anything. Oh my god, I literally, oh man, I could not describe to you how good that felt. As even though he just went to the biggest offensive threat against my entire team, I wasn't even mad because that freaking Shuckle went away from my screen, and I'm like, yes, pull through. As at this point, I'm going to go into my Gastrodon predicting well, I kind of figured it'd be Life Orb, but Z move was my like the second thing that came into my head, and the fact that he wasted it there was actually really good. Unfortunately, Gastrodon like had to take the big hit, but seeing there was no foragers, this Pokemon is really, and I do mean really worthless for the most part. It could have taken a hit from Heatran, but it's most likely HP Grass, so I don't live like any hit. I probably died at like any stab move from this range anyways. So I was like, okay, Gastron, you had to take the arrow to the knee, even though you don't have knees, you're a fucking slug. Literally, you're a slug. Anyways, I go into my Donphan as I get a really lucky dodge, and you'll see how that matters later in the game. As at this point, I just realized I can get rocks, and I don't care if he goes for the spikes here. I think I'll be okay. As I just go into my Venusaur, and he misses another move, so he's missed an Air Slash and an Icicle Crash, which is really unfortunate. Like, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm not sorry because it benefited me, but at the same time, it sucks. I know how it feels. I really do know how it feels to not get lucky with your moves. Cough, Rufus. Anyways, at this point, I could have predicted this and clicked Earthquake like a man, but I did not. As he doesn't know, maybe, well, he just got it from an Earthquake. This was a pretty safe middle ground play. He either got a free substitute with me not having an Earthquake, or he would scout for the Earthquake here, while only losing about 19% due to leftovers. So, you know, it was a pretty clean and safe play on his part, so I definitely can't say anything bad about this. And I knew he was going to switch, but there wasn't much I can do. As he goes into the Gallade, and since normal Gallade has piss poor Fizz Def, it actually does a decent amount of damage. Basically, Sludge Bomb would have just done about the same amount of damage if you think about it. So at this point, I got to go into my Donphan, as it's really my best play. As I guess he really predicted me here because he goes for the close combat, so it's a pretty decent play on his part. And he does 55%. If he's Jolly, that's an absolute max roll, because the roll I was checking this, it's like 46 to 55, and 55.4 was like literally the max percentage. So I was like, if this is Jolly, I actually have a pretty okay chance to live this, so I'm gonna risk it. And even if I don't live, I can put this in range of like my Scolipede, and at this point, his answers to Scolipede are next to none, because if you look at Cloyster, it's very weak, and it's gonna take rocks, so it's gonna die to almost everything. And Shuckle, it's gonna get very weakened. If I get to +2, my Z move kills it, and then everything else will just die to a Poison Jab plus Earthquake. So at this point, that's my game plan, as I do live on 1%. Donphan coming in clutch for the first time in a long time. This is the first time I've seen a Donphan come in clutch for anybody, really, because people call it a bad Pokemon, which I'm not gonna say it is, but Donphan is the boy. As I'm more than willing to sack it at this point. I scout for the Sludge Wave, I guess, so I do know he has a way to hit Togekiss, and at this point, I'm going to just click the Poison Jab as he goes into the Shuckle leader, and I knew this was a potential thing that can happen, and I saw the move Explosion on the calculator. I was like, he probably doesn't have it, but I was checking, and I live any hit he goes for. I even live a Rock Blast. Rock Blast does like 98.5% at the most, and as long as he doesn't get a crit on any of the Rock Blasts, we'd be clean. As he actually does click the Explosion here as I click SD, and at this point, that's GG, because like, even if Shuckle were to switch out on my Z move, he dies to the next he dies to Mega Horn on the switching. So, but he does not scout for the Z move, and that's just GG. So you're gonna see a Scolipede pick up about 5 kills in this, as he goes into the Spicy Frog, catches an Earthquake, and at that point he put GG in the chat because he knows the game is just about over. As yeah, good game to Mio. That Shuckle actually had me shitting my pants throughout the entire time it was on the field, but luckily when he switched it out, my heartbeat went back to normal. It was no longer on atrial fibrillation. Shout out to the guys who do know what atrial fibrillation means, but I think it's just a normal medical term, so maybe I'm just acting smart, but it's really just common sense. But whatever. That's GG to Mio, and just like that, we get a 5-0 win, the second highest win we've had all season, next to the last actual game we played. So in the last 2 games we played, we've gotten a 6-0 and a 5-0, and then you add the 3-0 from Matt with the forfeit. So we're sitting really pretty, because we just racked up so much points during the first 4 games. We weren't getting any points of our wins. Like, Turbo was a 1-0 win, we lost 1-0, then we lost to Rufus 3-0. So like, we needed some points, and this was a great way to do it. So I'm happy. I'm happy with my performance, and I had actually lost a league game like a couple hours before I played this one, so I was like, oh shit, man, I gotta try to redeem myself, and I did. So yeah, no, good game to Mio, And good luck with the rest of your season, as we're actually winding up to a close pretty soon. I believe it's about 9 games in the season, and this is week 7, so we only got a couple more weeks into playoffs. So you never know. Maybe I'll be your man to pull for. But you got players like Merck, you got players like Makati. They're all going to be up there, and I may have to play one of them up there if I do. If for the RNGs that I do make it that far. So yeah, we'll see what happens. We got a couple of games left, and let's hope we can just finish them strong with the record that we do have. So I'm gonna be out of here, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, evening, night, whatever time you may be watching this. So au revoir and peace.